Well, hi, all my friends. Boy, that took forever to upload to YouTube. All right, so I want to finish Samuel 2, chapter 2, sorry, 2 Samuel chapter 2, starting with verse 24. Just going back really quickly, just to, in case you haven't listened to this. David, by God's direction, goes up to Hebron and is made king over Judah. Abner makes Ishbosheth king over Israel. Did I say that right? Ishbosheth king over Israel. And Massar-Fjeld is slain. This talks about the horror of war. Helkath Hazurim, which is in Gibeon, is where these men fell that were killed and slain. It's known as the strong men, that the field of the strong men. Okay, to this day, that's what it's known as. All right, so okay, so Joab also and Abishai pursued after Abner, and the sun went down when they were come to the hill of Ammah, that lieth before Gahah, by the way of the wilderness of Gibeon. And the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together after Abner, and became one troop, and stood at the top of the hill. And Abner called to Joab, and said, Shall the sword devour forever? Knowest thou not that it will be bitterness in the latter end? How long shall it be then, ere thou bid the people return from following their brethren? And Joab said, As God liveth, unless thou hast spoken, surely then in the morning the people had gone up every one from following his brother. So Joab blew a trumpet, and all the people stood still, and pursued after Israel no more. Neither fought they any more. And Abner and his men walked all that night through the plain, and passed over Jordan, and went through Bithron, and came to Mahanaim. And Joab returned from following Abner, and when he had gathered all the people together, there lacked of David's servants 19 men, and Ashahel, I think that's how you say it. But the servants of David had smitten of Benjamin and of Abner's men, so that 360 men died. They took up Ashahel and buried him in the scepter of his father, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men went all night, and they came to Hebron at the break of day. Chapter 3. 6 sons were born to David. Abner revolts to David. Joab kills Abner. David mourns for Abner. Now, there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. As you can imagine, Saul thought he should be king and not David. So there's going to be animosity there and supremacy happening. Okay. So isn't it interesting that he went up to Hebron? Anyway, okay. Now, there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. But David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. And David were the sons born to Hebron, and his firstborn was Amnon of Hinanim, the Jezreelitess. And his second, Chileab from Abnegel, the wife of Nabal, the Carmelite. And the third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. And the fourth, Abnijah, the son of Haggith. And the fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abnatal. Man, these names are killing me. Okay, and the sixth, Ishraim by Eglah, David's wife. These were born to David in Hebron. So the sixth is Ishraim. Okay, so it came to pass while there was war between the house of Saul and the house of David, that Abner made himself strong for the house of Saul. And Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, and the daughter of Ahijah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Wherefore hast thou gone into my father's concubine?" Then was Abner very wroth for the words of Ishbosheth, and said, "Am I a dog's head which against Judah to show kindness this day unto the house of Saul thy father, to his brethren and to his friends, and have not delivered thee into the hand of David, that thou chargest me this day with a fault concerning this woman? So do God to Abner, and more also, except as the Lord hath sworn to David, even so I do to him. To translate the kingdom from the house of Saul, and to set up the throne of David over Israel and over Judah from Dan even to Beersheba." And he could not answer Abner a word again, because he feared him. And Abner sent messengers to David on his behalf, saying, whose is the land? And saying also, "Make thy league with me, and behold, my hand shall be with thee, to bring about all Israel unto thee." And he said, "Well, I will make a league with thee, but one thing that I require from thee is this: thou shalt not see my face, except first thou bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when thou comest to see my face." And David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, "Deliver me my wife Michal, which I espoused to me for 100 foreskins of the Philistines." And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, even from Phaltiel, the son of Laish. And her husband went with her along, weeping behind her, to Bahurim, and then said to Abner unto him, "Go, return." And he returned. And Abner had communicated with the elders of Israel, saying, You sought for David in times past to be king over you. Now then do it, for the Lord hath spoken of David, saying, "By the hand of my servant David I will save my people Israel out of the hand of the Philistines, and out of the hand of all their enemies." And Abner also spake in the ears of Benjamin, and Abner went also to speak to the ears of David in Hebron, and all that seemed good to Israel, and seemed good to the whole house of Benjamin. So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him, and David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. And Abner said unto David, "I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel unto my lord the king, that they may make a league with thee, and that thou mayest reign over all thy heart desires." And David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing a troop, and brought in great spoil with them. But Abner was not with David in Hebron. He had sent him away, and he was gone in peace. And then Joab and all of the host that was with him were come, and they told Joab, saying, "Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he had sent him away, and he is gone in peace." Then Joab came to the king and said, "What hast thou done? Behold, Abner came unto thee. Why is it that thou hast sent him away, and that he is quite gone? You knoweth Abner the son of Ner, that he came to deceive thee, and to know why thy going out and thy coming in, and to know all that thou dost." And Joab had come out of David, and he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah, but David knew it not. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him under the fifth rib, that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. Retaliation, avenger. Okay, so afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord forever from the blood of Abner the son of Ner. Let it rest on the head of Joab, on all of his father's house, and let there not fall from the house of Joab one that had an issue, or that is a leper, or that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth on the sword, or that lacketh bread. And so Joab and Abishai, his brother, slew Abner because he had slain their brother Asahel at Gibeon in the battle. And David said to Joab and to all the people that were with him, Wrench your clothes and gird you with the sackcloth, and mourn before Abner. And King David himself followed the bearer. And they buried Abner in Hebron, and the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner, and all the people wept. And the king lamented over Abner and said, Die, Abner, as a fool dieth. And the hands were not bound, nor thy feet put in the feathers, as a man falleth before the wicked men, so falleth thou. And the people wept again over him. And when all the people came to cause David to eat meat while it was yet day, David swore, saying, So do God to me, and more also, if I taste bread or aught else, until the sun be down. So he was fasting. And all the people took notice of it, and it pleased them, as whatsoever the king did pleased all the people. For all the people, all of Israel, understood that day that it was not of the king to slay Abner the son of Ner. And the king said unto his servants, Know ye not that there is a prince and a great man falleth this day in Israel? And I am this day weak. Though anointed king, these men, the sons of Zeruiah, be too hard for me, and the Lord shall reward the doer of evil according to his wickedness. Okay, I'm going to stop there at chapter 4, and we'll continue as the week goes on. If you have any questions, please leave me a question in the comments, share and like. Any questions or anything, please leave comments. YouTube wants to see there's some activity going on. Otherwise, we may not have this channel. Okay? So, pass it along. Anything that you're not sure of, that you want to discuss, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. All right, take care. Have a wonderful week. And be praying for Israel. By the way, Paris yesterday, and I think maybe today, are deciding the fate of Israel. They're trying to make it into a two-state solution still. This is not what God wants. And so be praying for that. And also be praying for the inauguration as it approaches, that everything goes well. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.